Hi everybody, we're A+ Water, and today we're going to show you how to install your Upflow filter. Included with your shipment is going to be the Upflow head, the bypass valve, the fitting kit, which is going to be either elbows or straight fittings, your upper basket, which is very important for these Upflow filters, and also your mineral tank, which carbon tanks should come completely preloaded up to 2 cubic feet, and calcite filters come partially loaded above 1 cubic foot. So if you have a 1.5 cubic foot calcite filter, you will need to add the extra half cubic foot of calcite that we send on the side. If your tank came partially loaded, you should have also been included a loading funnel to easily load the media into the tank. You will also need some things that are not included with the shipment. These would include plumbing fittings and equipment, and also some lubricant for the O-rings on these filters. Be sure not to use any petroleum-based lubricants. Silicone grease seems to work the best, but you can also use any sort of cooking oil from your kitchen, such as olive oil or canola oil. Again, as long as it's a non-petroleum-based lubricant, it should work. The first thing we need to do before we start installation is to verify that the riser tube in your mineral tank is sitting as close to flush as possible. We don't want the riser tube to be sticking up more than half an inch above the tank opening, or else we may run into issues. If your riser tube is sticking up more than half an inch above the tank opening, give us a call at the number below, and we'll be sure to help you get that thing where it needs to be. Next, we'll need to lubricate the O-rings on the Upflow head. There is a large O-ring which seals the head to the tank collar. It's the larger O-ring here. You'll also want to lubricate the pilot O-ring, which is the smaller O-ring. You cannot see this most likely unless you angle the valve, but you will feel it if you stick your pinky finger in here. You'll feel the O-ring right on this inner edge. Go ahead and lubricate this smaller O-ring as well. Next, we'll install the upper basket onto the underside of the head. This is super important. Be sure to never skip this step on an Upflow filter of any sort. The upper basket will slot into the underside of the control valve, locking into place with 1/8 of a turn. Once it's locked into place, you can turn it upside down and the upper basket should hold the head unit without any problems. The head unit and upper basket will both slide over the riser tube, pushing down until the threads meet the tank threads, and then tighten it clockwise, hand tight until it's nice and snug. The next step is to attach the bypass valve to the Upflow head. Be sure to lubricate the O-rings on the bypass before pushing it into the head. Once pushed into place, tighten the black hand nuts as tight as you possibly can with your hands. This should be good enough. Do not apply any additional torque to these black hand nuts. Then we'll need to assemble our fitting kit and then attach our fitting kit to the back of our bypass valve. For your fitting kit, you'll have your fitting elbow, your lock nut, your white split ring, and your rubber O-ring. The first step is to put the lock nut onto the elbow. Next, we need to put the white split ring into the bottom groove on the elbow. The solution here is to slide the white split ring into the first groove and then slide it down the elbow to the bottom groove. We're doing this so that we do not split the white ring. It's very easy to snap if you spread it too far, so it can be a little bit tricky to walk it, so to speak, down the elbow. As you can see here, it might take a couple minutes of finagling, but eventually you should be able to get that white split ring into the bottommost groove on the elbow. Once the white split ring is fully seated in the bottom groove, we need to install the rubber O-ring into the top groove. It should just slide over nice and easy. Lubricate these O-rings and then secure them to the back of the bypass valve, again tightening down the black hand nuts as tight as you can with your hands. Do not use any additional torque. The next thing we'll do is swap the bypass handles to the opposite direction to indicate the proper water flow direction. From the factory, the red arrows on the bypass valve are installed to indicate flow direction on a downflow system. Since this is an upflow system, we need to remove and reorient the handles to indicate the proper flow of water through the filter. Simply remove the red arrow-shaped handles and flip them around. Now, the arrows on the inlet should point towards the head, and the arrow on the outlet should point away from the unit. The unit should now be ready to connect to your house plumbing. To plumb the unit in, make sure that the bypass valves are in the bypass position, the two knobs forming a horizontal line going east to west across the bypass. Next, you'll want to make sure your main water shutoff is in the off position so that the water to the home is turned off. You'll want to make sure that you plumb the incoming water into the upflow inlet. The outlet of the system should come out of the downflow inlet. So again, plumb the incoming water into the upflow inlet on the head unit, and the outlet is on the downflow inlet to the house. Once the unit has been connected to your plumbing, double check that the unit is in the bypass position. Again, the red handles should be forming a horizontal line going east to west across the bypass valve. And then you can slowly turn your main water supply back on. After your main water valve is back to fully open, take 30 seconds to do a once-over across your plumbing job to make sure you don't have any leaks at any of the connecting points. Once you've verified there are no leaks, it is time to fill your tank with water. Open the upflow inlet side of the bypass by turning the red handle counterclockwise slowly over the course of 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, you can have that valve fully open so that it's running north to south. Be sure to keep your outlet valve in the closed position for this entire process. Allow the tank to fill with water. It will become silent once it's full. Once full, go ahead and shut that inlet again by turning it clockwise so that it is back in line with the outlet valve. We will allow the tank to sit full of water at least overnight to allow the media to soak. It's time to get it into service. To do this, slowly open the upflow inlet, just like we did before, over the course of 10 seconds to gradually introduce pressure. Once the inlet is fully open and the tank is silent, slowly open the outlet side, which is the side that says downflow inlet. Slowly open this valve by turning it counterclockwise over the course of 10 seconds or so. After 10 seconds, that valve can be fully open. And now we need to run water at the closest faucet until it is no longer discolored. These upflow carbon filters specifically can discolor the water a black color. And there also might be some light sediment or carbon granules that come out as well. This is all normal and will clear up after a minute or two of letting the water run. Allow the water to run as long as necessary until it's running clear. Shouldn't be long. Once the water is running clear, you're all good to go. Just use your water as normal, and your upflow filter is constantly filtering the water in your house. If you have any questions, be sure to get a hold of us or leave a comment in the comment section below. We hope you enjoyed this video on how to install your upflow filter. I hope this helped. I hope you have a nice day.